Apologies, by the way, for this video being delayed. I mean, to be honest with you, is it really delayed? I don't really know, to be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, there wasn't an episode of the movie wrap-up that came out on Sunday last week, and it's coming out today, Thursday the 30th of July, 2026, and then obviously I've got another movie wrap-up video coming out tomorrow, which is my top 20 movies of 2026 so far in the last 6 or 7 months. That's coming tomorrow, and then there'll be another movie wrap-up on Sunday this weekend, because I'm going to watch some more films as we go towards the end of this week. Does that make sense? Maybe. Anyway, welcome to this episode of the movie wrap-up. By the way, you can probably see behind me, this is my Pepsi Max cherry can here, which I've just got out of the fridge. I'm going to drink that in between takes. And you can probably see behind me as well, there's an Xbox Series S as well. I did get an Xbox Series S this week. I have done an unboxing video of it. That unboxing video will be out very soon. I'll confirm more dates of when videos are coming out in a future YouTube video, which I'll confirm the date of that YouTube video in the future. You guys will work it out. Honestly, my scheduling is all over the place. But anyway, I'm here to talk about 3 films only. I've watched 3 films this week. So, without further ado, let's have a look and see what films I've watched and reviewed this week. The Devil's Mouth. And we are starting off with Devil's Mouth, by the way, which is a brand new film that has released over on Amazon Prime Video worldwide. And bizarrely, fun fact for you guys out there, actually, as a matter of fact, not only is this an ideal film to watch during the summer, especially right now, given the fact that, especially here in the UK, I don't know about elsewhere around the world, but here in the UK we've had a lot of heat waves and stuff, and this does bring a little bit of summer vibes to it, admittedly. But that being said as well, this also released on the same week that it happens to be Shark Week as well. Fun fact for you shark fans out there. But anyway, what did I think of Devil's Mouth? Well, I'm going to be honest, I did actually enjoy this. This does star Lana Condor and Catherine Newton as well. Now, Catherine Newton, I'll be honest, I do feel like a lot of her roles when she's appeared in films, when you think like Abigail or Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, or Lisa Frankenstein, you know, there's been a lot of roles that she has appeared in over the last few years, and I do feel like her character does come across as a little bit goofy, and a little bit like the film itself genuinely feels a bit goofy and a bit campy. Now, don't get me wrong, that's no disrespect to Catherine Newton whatsoever, because honestly, she is a fantastic actress. I really do think she is. But that being said though, with Devil's Mouth, I feel like the actress kind of has a bit more of a serious role, which I really did enjoy, to be honest. I loved seeing this more serious side to this actress, and the fact that she could bring what she could bring to the table on more serious roles. That being said, the film itself is somewhat intense as well. I mean, look, it's a creature feature, okay? And if you have seen creature features before, especially when it comes to shark films, then you're probably going to expect a lot of tropes. And this film doesn't do anything new or anything fresh, really. You know, it does still have those same shark tropes that you've come across in other shark films before, okay? I mean, look, this is a thriller. This is intense as well. I will add that there. And also as well, can I just say that the music scoring in this film is definitely good as well. Like, it does add to the intensity, especially during those intense moments of the film as well. Do I recommend watching The Devil's Mouth over on Amazon Prime Video if you are looking for a creature feature film to watch, if you are looking for a thriller to watch, especially this weekend. This film only came out this week over the last couple of days. I do highly recommend checking it out over on Amazon Prime Video. Is this a film I could see me going back and rewatching again? I do think so, from time to time. That being said as well, obviously the shark, just like with most other creature feature films, the shark is CGI in this film, because obviously they can't use a real bull shark with these actors and actresses. I mean, it would add more to the intensity of the film, I suppose, but obviously they can't really do that, can they? Anyway, Devil's Mouth is available to stream now over on Amazon Prime Video worldwide. Turbulence. This is another film that I caught on Amazon Prime Video here in the UK this week. This one actually took me by surprise because Turbulence is a film that I wanted to watch a little while back, actually. I saw the trailer for this. It probably was sometime last year, if not at the beginning of this year, that I saw the trailer for this. Obviously, it wasn't streaming anywhere. It wasn't available to buy or rent anywhere on digital platforms. So I've kind of just had to wait and wait and wait. And now I finally got the chance to watch Turbulence over on Amazon Prime Video. Now, Turbulence does star Jeremy Irvine, and it does also star Kelsey Grammer as well. And again, this kind of was giving me the vibes that I got when I was watching the movie Fall a couple of years ago. And that being said, by the way, there is a sequel to Fall coming out later this year called Fall 2 Dead Point. I believe that comes out in September. But that being said, going back to Turbulence, so it's basically a couple who are struggling with their marriage and they're trying to get it back on track, and the only way to do that is to take a flight on a hot air balloon. But that being said though, the husband, called Zach, is being blackmailed, and the blackmailer happens to join them on the hot air balloon ride. Will they all make it out alive? You'll have to watch this film to find out. But that being said, I'm going to say now, I was originally going to probably give this film maybe half a star, maybe 1 star when I reviewed it on Letterboxd, but I didn't. I think I gave it a 2.5 star rating, and I was surprised. I was surprised that this film actually did get that high of a rating, to be honest, because I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much. But when I was watching this film, I'll be honest, I was kind of invested in the story, and I was kind of intrigued to know what happened next as well. I mean, this does come with a short running time of just 1 hour 35 minutes, so it is a quite nice, simple, easy watch thriller film to enjoy. But that being said, would I watch Turbulence again? I think I definitely would, for sure. And do I recommend watching it? Well, if you are into thriller films and you want to give this one a watch, or if you're interested in checking this one out, then I do highly recommend watching Turbulence over on Amazon Prime Video. It is streaming on Prime Video here in the UK right now. Spider-Man Brand New Day. And the final film that I have watched this week is Spider-Man Brand New Day. It is a brand new day for this Spider-Man because Tom Holland is back once again as Spider-Man for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, I'm going to be very honest here. Am I going to go into spoilers? No, because obviously this film has literally just come out within the last day or so, and I want to keep this as spoiler free as possible. But what I will say though is that the movie does star Tom Holland, Jacob Batalon, Zendaya, John Bernthal. It does also star Sadie Sink as well, and it also does star Mark Ruffalo as well. Now, what I will say is that this film is good. You know, like, this film is brilliant. However, though, I did have a problem with this film, okay? The problem is, well, there's a few problems, okay? Let me dive into the major flaw for me, okay? Is the film does clock in with a running time of 2 hours and 25 minutes, right? And it is a very long film. But that being said, though, I felt like within the last, I'm going to say half an hour of this film, I felt as though it was like kind of things were wrapping up, and I thought, okay, the film's ending now, you know, that, blimey, that 2 hours and a half went really quick. And then all of a sudden there seemed to be some sort of plot hole or something, and then we go back into the action once again. I was like, oh, okay, this film hasn't ended then. And then something else happens, and then it gets wrapped up again, and then you think, oh brilliant, this film's ending now, okay, we're getting towards the end, and then something else happens, you know? I don't know if that was just me, or if anyone else watching this movie wrap-up episode right now can kind of say the same thing as me, but that's how I felt. I felt like there was 3 endings to this film. I don't know why. But anyway, that's my biggest flaw of the film, okay? The other, and this is only minor, by the way, the only minor flaw that I had with the film, and this isn't the film's fault, this is purely my fault here, is the fact that this does star Jon Bernthal as the Punisher. Now, a lot of Marvel fans out there probably would have watched the Punisher TV series when that was released on Netflix years ago, when they were doing the whole Defenders thing. I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't seen a single Netflix Defenders show, whether that be Daredevil, Defenders, or even the Punisher. I haven't even seen the Punisher. Now, I am aware that the Punisher does turn up in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Again, I haven't seen Daredevil Born Again Season 2 because I haven't seen Season 1 of Daredevil Born Again. Why? Because I've never seen Daredevil. So that's the other thing. And then there was also the Disney Plus special for the Punisher that came out after the finale of Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again earlier this year, which again, I didn't watch, because why? Never seen the Punisher. But that being said though, given the fact that Spider-Man Brand New Day happens to be the first MCU project that I've seen with Jon Bernthal as the Punisher, I'll be honest, it was good. I thought he was great, you know, and it kind of does make me want to go back now and revisit, well, go and watch The Punisher and maybe go and watch Daredevil and then Daredevil Born Again so that I can see The Punisher in Season 2 and then go and watch the one-off Marvel special that Disney Plus released earlier this year. So there is that, okay, so maybe, you know, look, I'm gonna put it out there now, I probably am not. I used to be a hardcore Marvel fan, okay, I used to be, but I'm now gonna demote myself down to just a casual Marvel viewer because I haven't really seen a lot of MCU projects, especially the TV shows on Disney Plus in recent years. But in terms of theatrical releases, apart from Captain America Brave New World, which I still have not seen to this day, but in terms of theatrical releases, when it comes to a Marvel film, I am there to go and see it, okay? So, casual Marvel fan here, for the time being. Maybe I can get that hardcore Marvel fan back, you know, the title back, when I go and see Avengers Doomsday later this year, when that comes out at the end of the year, and I have probably gone and watched all the Marvel projects that there is possible in the world. But going back to Spider-Man Brand New Day though, Tom Holland, he's facing, you know, his Spider-Man is facing a lot of trauma. Obviously the character of Spider-Man, when you think of Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home, you know, Tom Holland's Spider-Man has come a long way, and, you know, obviously he's lost a lot, you know, he really has. He's lost his friends, he's lost his Aunt May as well, and, you know, even when you even think, like, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, you know, he was really good, really close with Tony Stark, with Iron Man, and obviously when we get to Avengers Endgame, Iron Man dies. Tony Stark is no more, so he's even lost, you know, one of his closest allies as well. So, you know, obviously Tom Holland's Spider-Man has got all this trauma built up, and obviously with that does mean that his powers of being Spider-Man are going a bit out of control. You know, obviously he has to use some sort of device to kind of keep his powers under control, but you know what though, I will say that what I do appreciate about this film is the story, number one, but also number two, I do appreciate the fact that, you know, that it basically puts Spider-Man back into the roots, how everyone knows Spider-Man as your friendly neighborhood hero, you know, and that's what I love, is the fact that we see Tom Holland's Spider-Man fighting crime whenever there is crime on the streets, you know. I do appreciate that about this film. I am going to just talk very, very, very brief about Sadie Sink, because, again, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say who her character is. I do know who her character is. I mean, you know, I guess if you've been online and you haven't seen the film, then maybe you do already know who she plays in the MCU. But if you don't know who she is, don't worry, I ain't going to spoil it for you. But what I will say, though, is she is great. You know, the scenes that we do see of her, I mean, she doesn't come in at the beginning of the film. I will just say that, okay? She does come a little bit later on in the film, but when she does come into the film a little bit later on, she's great. She's brilliant, you know? And I do hope and pray that we do see her a little bit more in the MCU going forward in the future. I mean, who knows? I mean, I think Sadie Sink herself would love to appear or reappear in the MCU again in the future as well. But there we go. The other thing that I will say is the post-credits scene, okay? Obviously, there's only one post-credits scene. It's at the very end of the film. As soon as the credits have stopped rolling, post-credits scene does come up. I mean, does it set up anything for Avengers Doomsday? I don't think so. That's kind of the vibe that I was getting, was it doesn't set up anything for Avengers Doomsday. I guess it sets something up for a future Spider-Man film, possibly. I mean, I don't know if Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to appear in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars when that comes out at the end of 2027. I don't know. I mean, if he does, then he appears in Avengers Doomsday, but if he doesn't, he may appear in Avengers Secret Wars, but then if he doesn't then he'll probably appear in another Spider-Man film. But one thing is for sure though, Marvel have confirmed that Spider-Man will return. So there we go. Do I recommend watching Spider-Man Brand New Day? Yes, I do. I mean, I would say definitely watch the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man films to kind of understand where this story is going, the direction that this story is going, for sure. But I do recommend watching it, whether you are a hardcore MCU fan, whether you're a casual MCU fan like I am right now, or whether you're just a fan of the Spider-Man films in general. It is a long film, I will admit, but if you fancy sitting down and watching 2.5 hours of an MCU film, then you will appreciate Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is this also a film that I can see me going back and rewatching again some point in the future? I definitely do think so, yes, alongside all the other Spider-Man films that Tom Holland's done in the past. And you know what, for the fun of it, I might as well do a Spider-Man binge at some point, maybe later in the year or something, where I go back and watch the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and even the animated Spider-Man films, you know, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse as well. I might even give those a rewatch again at some point in the future. But for now though, Spider-Man Brand New Day is currently showing in cinemas and theatres worldwide. Blimey, that last review of Spider-Man, by the way, was such a lengthy one, but there was so much to talk about. Also, can I just say, very quick, and I should have said this in my review actually just a moment ago, but there is a building, right, in I'm aware that Spider-Man Brand New Day did some filming where I used to live, which was Basingstoke. There was a building, I spotted it. There was a building I recognised in one of the scenes of Spider-Man Brand New Day. In my mind, I clocked it and was like, Basingstoke. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I thought I'd just add that in here. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of the movie wrap-up. Like I said at the beginning of this video, there's another 2 episodes coming this week First one being my top 20 movies of 2026 so far. That is where I'm going to be discussing my top 20 movies of 2026 so far, from January to basically the end of July. I normally do a check-in point around about this time of the year in terms of what my top 20 movies are of the year, and then I do another one at the end of the year, which could all change where everything is in the top 20, you know, from July to December. But anyway, I will talk to you about the top 20 movies of 2026 so far in my next movie wrap-up, which comes out Friday 31st of July 2026 at 6 PM UK time. And then I've got another movie wrap-up video coming out on Sunday this weekend, Sunday 2nd of August 2026 at 6 PM UK time, and I'm going to be watching a few films which I will be reviewing in that episode that's coming out on Sunday this weekend. Anyway, that's all from me for now. It's goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you guys again in my next YouTube video.